Hello, my name is Lauren and welcome to the Theoretical YouTube channel where we watch Disney movies every day, all day, 24/7. Seriously, we have a problem. Since you probably saw the title of this video, let's just cut to the chase. Moana is a communist. Okay, let me explain. First off, please don't take anything I'm about to say too seriously. This idea pretty much stems from me zoning out in history class, and I really don't mean to offend anyone. Here we go. The world of Moana takes place in a combination of several Polynesian cultures that make up a fictional island of Motunui. Most of their culture is explained in the song Where You Are towards the beginning of the film. And that's where some of the funny things start happening. The song itself is great, one of my favorites actually, but has anyone here actually listened to the lyrics? For instance, when Chief Tui says, "We share everything we make." Small villages operate like this all the time. But you know what else does? Communism. Communism is defined as extreme and total socialism, where the people own everything together and is distributed based on need. At least, that's ideal communism. For reference, ideal communism has never been achieved. The dictators that you're probably thinking of had nothing to do with Karl Marx. But if you think that this line from the song is just a coincidence, it keeps going. There comes a day when you're gonna look around and realize happiness is where you are. Okay, so one of the main aspects of communism is their lack of currency, therefore making international trade impossible, which means that any communist nation has to be self-sufficient with the ability to provide for itself. Chief Tui cements this concept when he says, "Moana, it's time you knew, the village of Motunui is all you need." You can't get a better example of isolationism than a single island. But that's still not it. Moana loves her island home. However, one thing has bothered her her entire life. Why can't anyone leave? And her father doesn't seem to think there's anything wrong with this. That's right, we stay. We're safe and we're well provided. And when we look to the future, there you are. You'll be okay. In time you'll learn just as I did. You must find happiness right where you are. And it's not just that no one wants to leave, they physically can't. Even when someone, Moana, spends their entire life wanting just one thing, leaving the island is not an option. But I mean, it's not like leaving communist societies was a problem people actually had, right? Actually, by the very fact that Motunui describes the horizon as a line that no one can cross or know anything about is ringing a disturbing bell. Let's take a look at Berlin. During the Cold War, both the US and the USSR shared the country of Germany since they both took part in liberating it from German control. However, the USSR wanted to establish a communist government, and we like democracy. So we split the country in half. And then spent so much time fighting over the capital that we split Berlin in half too, even though it was clearly on the eastern side. And then life became so awful in East Berlin that they all tried to escape to West Berlin. So the USSR shut down all transportation in or out of West Berlin to stop the flow of commercial goods, thinking that the appeal of capitalism would subside without the stuff. But then America decided to just fly everything into West Berlin. You know, the logical thing to do. So then the USSR built a wall, the Berlin Wall, in order to keep people from the eastern half of the city from the western half of the city. So here we have two literal lines that keep the people who desperately want to leave their nations from doing so. The other deal about Chief Tui's speech to Moana is that he insists that she's perfectly capable of being happy where she is. That's the whole point of the song. But that's also similar to the propaganda sentiments from the Cold War era. We also see that the color of leadership on Motunui is red, and that Moana's family is responsible for pretty much anything that goes wrong on the island. We see that a leaking roof holds the same amount of attention as a potential famine. But why is this important? Well, if communism is extreme socialism, but not truly ideal, there will be some sort of government, and that government will control or regulate everything, exactly like we see in Moana. Okay, but what does this mean for the movie's plot? It actually affects almost nothing. Sure, we can see the dying Motunui as a literal form of depleting resources, a major problem for an isolated nation. But that doesn't really change anything. It doesn't change our characters' intentions in any way, it doesn't create new conflict, it doesn't even change the setting a whole lot. And to be clear, I don't think that this movie was meant to show communism. What I'm suggesting is that the culture of this small village shows this type of society structure that larger nations tried and failed to replicate in the 20th century. I believe that Motunui has achieved ideal communism, where Moana herself is the anomaly. If everyone really is truly happy just living their lives, that's a good thing. Even their problem with depleting resources can be and is solved by the end of the film. So therefore, seeing how they run their island with no currency, no ownership, no escape, and one catchy song, Moana is by definition a communist. So what did you think? And remember, this was just a theory, one that stemmed from me being bored in history class, which automatically makes zoning out in school okay, right? Anyway, if you like this video, please head down to the subscribe button located just below the screen in the bottom right corner. And if you want more cool Disney theories, why don't you click on all these pictures that just appeared on the screen magically? Look at that! Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.
Consider the coconut.